Listen, I think it is amazing to have confidence in what you're good at, but I think it's even better if you're able to show the proof of the fruit. Not the effort, not the intention, the fruit, what has been produced. Because in this market, potential is cute, but proof is the real currency. And if you're not documenting your wins, you are low-key robbing yourself of career elevation. You're sitting on the clearance rack hoping that somebody is gonna feel your vibe, while the person on the premium shelf is handing over receipts. So if you wanna be moved behind the glass, you have to stop talking about what you can do and start showing the proof of what you have done. I listen to Pastor Mike Todd from Transformation Church all the time, and something that I often hear him say is you know them by their fruit. Not their words, not their potential, but their receipts. He literally preached the whole series on it. Now, if you've been rocking with me, you remember our Yes at First Sight episode, and I talked about Scottie Pippen and how he signed that 7-year, $18 million contract. It was one of the most lopsided deals in sports history. But here is the real talk part of my story. I just love The Last Dance. I study Chicago Bulls culture because I think it's a masterclass in human behavior, and I'm from Chicago. And while I respect Scottie's game, I have to talk about the ownership piece. He spent years frustrated because he was the 6th highest paid player on his team while being a top 5 player in the league, severely underpaid. But you can't be mad at the market for a price tag you agreed to. If you aren't documenting your fruit, if you aren't walking into that room with your stat sheet and your receipts, you're leaving your compensation up to chance. See, Scottie had the stats, but he did not use the leverage of his fruit during negotiation processes. He chose security over strategy and then got upset with the results. And it's just not effective. It would kind of be like me being upset that all my bosses lowballed me. It wasn't their fault. I was the one who said yes. And now I use those lessons, 1, to make sure that I'm not underpaid, but 2, to help you get off the clearance rack. But let's get back to Scottie. Don't be the person who produces championship level fruit and accepts clearance rack pay. As I said in my TED Talk, you have to physically move yourself off the clearance rack. And there's no better place to start than with the truth, the data, the facts, the receipts, documented often. And look, I know the barrier. You might think documenting your wins is bragging, but let's be real. Sometimes you need to brag on yourself to remind you that you are the expert. The longer you stay quiet about your wins, the easier it is to forget how powerful you really are. Let's look at the data. Professionals who track achievements monthly are 43% more likely to negotiate successfully. Resumes with measurable outcomes see 68% more callbacks. Yet only 10% of employees actively track what they accomplish. If you don't document, you disappear. You stay on the clearance rack because nobody knows your true value, your retail value, your open market, as Jamila says, on the rate. So let's get you fruit forward. Here's your brag note system. Number 1, a weekly wins log. Every Friday, write down one thing that you did that had impact. Don't wait until the end of the year. It is a cumbersome process when you do it that way. Number 2, quantify your value. Put a number on it. Improved efficiency, that's a C. Save the company 10 hours a week, that's free. Number 3, screenshot the praise. Create a brag file folder on the desktop of your computer. Every thank you email or Slack shout out goes in that folder immediately. Number 4, update your resume monthly. Don't wait until you're desperate. Keep your stat sheet current while the fruit is fresh. This is not about ego, it's about equity. It's too many of us are over delivering and under documented. If you want to negotiate, pivot, or promote, you need a fruit file. So this week's hack: reflect, remove, respond. Reflect. Step 1. Look at your calendar for the last month. What fruit did you produce that you haven't given yourself credit for? Step 2, remove the barrier. Delete the idea that tracking your wins is conceited. It's not bragging, it's accounting. Take ownership of your P&L, aka your stat sheet. Step 3, take action. Open up a digital doc right now, and I want you to title it Fruit File - Your Name. Add your top 3 wins for the year. Then go back to episode 11 of the 5-Minute Career Hack to deep dive into the brag note strategy. Listen, you have to get up, move yourself off the clearance rack, and start owning the entire selling floor. because you are the premium item and you belong behind the glass. I'll see you there.